Okay, so I just finished watching Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, and I literally just rewatched both Avatar 1 and 2. And I haven't seen the first one since like I was like a little ass kid. So obviously the director is James Cameron. So like there's like a lot of aura behind that name, I guess, like Terminator, Titanic, Aliens, bro. He directed Aliens. That's like my the my opinion, the best movie in the Aliens franchise. That's what like that movie made me like a super fan of Aliens. So in my head, you know, James Cameron kind of that guy, you know what I'm saying? And Avatar is like his big dream thing, right? Like he had the idea for like what 30, 40 years or something. So like yeah, I mean, this is like I want to see like what his dream work is, I'm interested in it. Obviously, I always got this feeling that like Avatar 1 shouldn't have made as much money as it did, like I don't know, like $2 billion or something, probably more. I just don't remember it being that fascinating. And so on the rewatch, I can say for a fact that yeah, sorry, I don't think it should have made that much money. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, like going back and watching it now, the like visuals didn't like wow me. I don't know if that's just because it's 2025, but like it's kind of impressive just taking in how much of that movie is not real, right? Because like all of the environments, all of like the characters, it's all like computer generated. I'm pretty sure. Like it's not like none of it is real really, which is kind of like amazing to think because a lot of it looks so like you look at a tree or a leaf and be like, damn, that's like that's not a real thing. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like that's the cool part about it. But on to like the actual review. Sorry, review. So the first movie didn't like. So I have some notes here. The first movie didn't like wow me, but there were like some parts where I was like, oh okay, I guess like that kind of didn't make sense. Like when Jake initially gets invited into the forest Navi tribe, it was so quick. Like he just like it didn't make any sense. He went up to them and he was like, oh, I'm not like other humans, I'm a warrior. And they were like, oh, we've never met a warrior human. And then he lied to them, said he was from Jarhead clan or something. And then they were like, oh, okay. And he just let him in. Like, what? Like, can we like explain that a little more? And like Sigourney Weaver's character, who's the main girl in Aliens, every time I see her, bro, aura, bro, I swear. But apparently she had a school on Pandora and she taught the Navi people English. They never really explained that or like how far that went. I think they kind of say that the school got taken down by the humans for something, but they don't really like explain that relationship. Like they respect her, but they also don't. Like it's so weird to me. Also, I think this movie suffers from that thing where like it's like man meets native woman, falls in love with her, and then it's like, yo, native people are cool. Like Jake literally cracks Neytiri and he's like, yo bro, I'm gonna become Navi. I'm relinquishing my race completely. Like that's literally what happens, bro. I mean, obviously there's more to it than that, but like it's just funny to see that on the big screen. I also wish they went into more detail about how like the Navi understand that Jake is like his actual avatar form is a fake Navi, but they still kind of like don't care. Like they look at him like, oh, you're not real. But they like they're kind of accepting of it too. Which kind of makes like no sense. Like I know racism is not a bro, what the I didn't know how to like stop this thing, so I got a nice accessory now. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So like I know racism is like not cool, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. But okay, this might sound a little crazy, but I would have liked to seen a little more racism in Avatar, at least towards Jake and how easily he like assimilates into the Navi like peoples. Because I don't know, it just felt so like quick. That like when I was watching the first movie, I was like, oh, they're just like, okay, like that's pretty easy. And they, because Jake is cool with them, they become cool with Grace again, who is Sigourney Weaver's character. She's like the one who set up the schools and stuff. So like, that's just kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah, another thing that I liked though was, even though it was quick, I do like how they spent a lot of the movie forcing Jake to like learn their ways and prove himself. Like he did a lot of things that was like hard, I guess. He became the Taruk Makto, which was like the guy who rides the big ass bird. And I guess that earned a lot of respect. I mean, obviously, because that means he's like the GOAT, and there's only been like 3 of them ever or something like that. So I do like how they put emphasis on how Jake like earns all of the tribe's respect. And also there's like a hint of him being like the chosen one. Like when he initially gets there, like the nature like comes around him, and that's why Neytiri is like, yo, this guy's cool, bro. She's like, I seen it from Awa. Awa's like their goddess, the nature god or something. And nobody really believes her, and then they kind of just forget about that later on. I don't know. Yeah, back to the Taruk Makto thing. I think it's really cool how like you know, when Jake's initial intentions, because he's a Marine, right? He's basically trying to learn about them and then like steal from them. So like he falls in love with this culture and this people, but his actual job there is to hurt them, which is a pretty normal like trope. But when they find out about everything, they're like, oh my god, Jake, you suck. I do like how the way he earns their respect back is by becoming the Taruk Makto. Because they set it up pretty cool in the beginning, right? They talk about how like Neytiri's like, oh, my great grandfather was Taruk Makto, and there's only been 3 ever. And so like when Jake is like all the way at the bottom, the way he earns all the respect back is by becoming Taruk Makto. And then they all respect him and understand that, you know, he really does care about their people and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. I mean, this movie is definitely like heavily inspired by colonialism. Like none of it feels unfamiliar. Like the whole movie feels very like, oh, I've seen this before, you know, like I learned about this in school and whatnot. Like it just feels like kind of like Christopher Columbus coming to America type thing, or like any other example like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It might feel a little redundant, but it's cool to see in the way that it's done, I think. And I think the people that call this movie like white, they call it like white savior slop. Dude, those people are like actually insane. 'Cause I feel like white savior slop is like white man becomes hero, but not really out of the goodness of his heart. Like Jake literally, he obviously is a white Marine. He's disabled, and like I like how they focus on that a lot. Like he can't use his legs, and so when he becomes Na'vi in his avatar, he feels like alive again. And like so when he comes out of the avatar, the movie makes it feel like Jake is just, he really hates coming back to reality, and like he doesn't want to live this life. And even when the general tells him like, we'll give you your legs back if you do your job, he chooses to not want that. He enjoys being Na'vi so much that it transcends having his ability to walk as a human again. Like so he's willing to literally like go against this whole thing because he loves being Na'vi. He just falls in love with it. And I think that's really cool. It shows that he is genuine, endearing, and really cares about the culture. And so like it's not white savior slop. He literally he relinquishes his whole race, becomes Na'vi, and then fights humans. Like how is that? Like I don't know. I just think people that say that are a little strange. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I did like this movie. It felt kind of generic. Like it wasn't anything crazy. Like it didn't wow me, or like I wasn't like whoa, or like there wasn't really anything in it that I was like, that's cool, I've never seen that before, or wow. Like narratively, it was fine. Like I just wasn't amazing to me. That's why I don't get why it was so popular. But I give it a 7 out of 10. On to Avatar 2. This movie, man, this movie's long as freak, bro. And this movie came out, so the first one came out in 2009. Second one came out in 2022. I actually watched it on a cruise, on a Disney cruise with my family, and I was like hating on it so hard just because like I thought Avatar was overrated. I was low key hating because I'm not gonna lie, I actually like the second one more than the first one, which a lot of people might like consider blasphemous, but hey, I guess because I like longer movies, and then I don't know, the first one felt just very normal and like generic, and this one isn't that crazy either. But I guess I just liked how much more they added to this world in the second movie. Yeah, so this one, basically all like the forest Navi people, like Jake and them, are living in like the mountains, and like some of the humans that were helping them in the first movie live with them, and yeah, they're living in like the gravity mountains where the humans can't get to. And so now they have children. They have Took, the youngest one, Loak, who is the youngest boy, Neteyam, who's the oldest brother, and then Kiri, who's adopted. So yeah, Sigourney Weaver's character, the Dr. Grace, she died in the first movie, and they tried to transfer her body into her avatar, but she just died. Like, I guess she was just too weak. And so there was like an immaculate conception, I guess. And Grace's avatar just became pregnant. So I'm thinking like she got rebirthed from Grace's avatar, like cloned kinda through Awa, the goddess, which is honestly kind of cool. But yeah, so Kiri's the adopted one, and she has like some, because of that, she's like closely like she feels closely tied to Awa and nature and stuff. She has like she interacts with nature in a lot of weird ways that make her seem like she's gonna be like the goat later with like superpowers or something. But yeah. Oh, also there is Spider. So at the end of the first movie, instead of killing all the humans, they locked them up and returned them to their ship and sent them back to Earth, which is like, ooh, that they just went to war, but I guess after they surrendered, they just sent them back, which is, I don't know, at that point I'd be like, just finish the job, bro. But yeah, so there was a human child on Pandora, and because he was a baby, they can't do interstellar travel and like cryo freezing or whatnot. So they had to just leave the child on Pandora, and just nobody knew. Which, I mean, I don't know how, like, I feel like if I was going to Pandora, I'd be like, okay guys, no cracking on the ship or on this planet, because if we have to go back, we can't raise this child. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just kind of doesn't make sense to me. But it's crazy because the Colonel, who got killed by Neytiri in the end of the last movie, he cracked some woman, and she had a baby, and it was this kid named Spider. And so basically he always has a mask on because he can't breathe the Pandora air. And he grows up like Na'vi, because the only friends or like around his age he can make are Na'vi children. And so he's not really like a part of the tribe or anything, but he's just like friends with all the kids. And so he's a big part of this movie, obviously because he's the Colonel's son. And the Colonel actually, he died in the last movie, but he apparently they cloned his memories and put them into an avatar, so he kind of gets like reborn as an avatar Na'vi. And so he's like the big villain now in this one. Basically Spider immediately gets captured in the beginning of this movie, and then he's like, oh, it's time to the Colonel's like, we gotta kill Jake Sully. And then so Jake is like, oh, we have to leave. And so it's like a big thing. Eventually they leave the forest and they go to the water. That's why it's called the Way of Water, right? And so the rest of the movie is just Jake and his family trying to, like, I guess, be a part of the water people. They have like different what's it called, anatomy, because they live in the water. And so like a lot of his kids and stuff get made fun of, but he has respect because he's the Taruk Makto. So like that's like a big deal for everyone. I guess he's like the great leader of all the Na'vi people or something. So yeah, like, so the kids get into a bunch of fights with the other kids because they get bullied and stuff, and like they almost die and things like that. Oh, also in this movie, the thing that bothers me the most is the hair, bro. in the last movie, like all the Navi had like straight hair. It was just like braided, or like even like you could see it. They were just like straight. Some people just had like straight hair. In this movie, like it feels like all the characters got locks. And like I don't understand why that change happened. Like even in the flashback to the first movie, like in the second movie does a flashback to the first movie, Jake in the flashback has locks. In the first movie, he just had straight hair and some of it was braided, but you could even see like his straight hair coming down. And so like Spider, the kid who's Navi, he has big ass locks, and so does Jake and everyone. It's just so weird to me that they made that change. Also, I just want to mention something about Spider real quick. Spider is disgusting as hell, bro. Like this kid, he literally acts like not. There's other humans there, human adults, but he is like fully Navi, bro. This guy runs around with his poo poo booty ass out, like he. I know he stinks hella bad. He's like climbing around like them and stuff, and he must be hella strong, bro, because they're hella big. They got big bones and muscles and stuff. He's just a normal human kid, like I don't know how he does it, bro, but that kid he's basically Navi, bro. Yeah, so when he gets captured, basically the whole movie, he's like bonding with his fake Colonel Avatar dad, which he kind of doesn't want to. Like the Colonel and him kind of don't want to get along, but they do, and it ends up becoming like this weird father-son bonding relationship throughout the whole movie. So back to the water stuff and everything that's going on. Kiri, the new girl that's adopted, is actually still played by Sigourney Weaver. So like, I think Sigourney Weaver's like 70 or something. Like, shout out my goat, right? But she's playing like a 13-year-old girl or something like that, which is like, I don't like, that's a little weird. Like, you can hear it too. Like sometimes, like when she talks, bro, that is not a little ass girl, bro. That is a grown ass woman. It'll be like, stop, Spider, don't go. And bro, it's so hard to believe that she's like a little ass kid sometimes, because I swear sometimes she's not even trying to change her voice, bro. Like I get that she's like a reincarnation or whatever, but like like come on, bro, what are we doing? Yeah, so a big portion of this movie is literally just like the family hanging out with the water tribe, which I personally kind of liked. There were a lot of new characters introduced in this movie, and I feel like the time was spent, in my opinion, it was enjoyable watching these characters like interact and get fleshed out a little bit, and like how, you know, their experiences were, especially as children. A lot of the children, it was interesting to see how like the two brothers and Kiri were interacting with the world, especially since they're different. You know, they're like half breeds, because Jake is a human. He has like a human hand. They have like 5 fingers or something. So I liked seeing that experience. And yeah, that was like most of the movie. It looked really cool though. This movie genuinely looked like really pretty. There were a lot of like, the water stuff was really cool. Like introducing like how closely the water people are with like the whales. I think they're called the Tucan or something. Tanuk, I don't know. Yeah, even one of the brothers, he bonds with like a outcast whale called Payakan, who they said killed like other whales. That actually isn't true. He's like misunderstood. There's a lot of like new things that get introduced that I enjoyed, bro. Some people might think it's boring, but I liked it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And so most of the movie is just that. And then at the end, the general eventually finds Jake and whatnot, kind of through Spider's help. They're going to kill some whales, and like the whales get killed, and like the whales are considered like family to the water people, so it's like a big deal. It's like, oh my god, you killed my brother. They're literally considered like brothers and sisters and stuff. Like they link with them through their hair thing. So basically a bunch of the kids get captured again. I think it's like, I don't remember. There's like 3 of them. There's a bunch of kids, but some of them get captured, right? And then they're like, oh, we gotta go to war. And the water people are like, yep, we're going to war. And Jake is like, all right, cool. And then the whales end up helping in the fight, and it like, bro, the whales carry hard. The Navi people, bro, they would have like gotten killed without the whales, bro. I'm telling you, like they carried hard, bro. The Payakan, the whale friend of what's his name, Loak, the younger brother, he carried hard. He put in so much work. That is the MVP of this whole movie, bro. Yeah, there's like a big fight in the water on a ship, and it goes into the nighttime, and it looks really cool. And at this point in the movie, there's a big character death the elder brother dies, Neteyam, and I actually really appreciate this. I think it adds a lot to like the relationship between the Jake and his two sons, and Neytiri too. Like Jake is kind of like a hard ass on the younger son, but on the elder son, he kind of like tells him more what he's thinking and how he like, even though he'll get mad at the younger son for fighting, and then be like, and talk to the older son and be like, did he at least win a fight? And he'd be like, cool. And be like, watch your brother. So he like really respects the older son, and he puts a lot of pressure on him to watch his brother, but he hates that the elder brother always takes the blame for the younger one. Like there's like it's a pretty common like trope there, but I like how he interacts with his sons. Like it's really like, it's kind of messed up for the younger one because he feels like his dad doesn't really respect him, but that kind of forces him to like go through a lot of like character development in the movie. Like when he bonds with Payakan, I really like the younger son because you get to see a lot of like how he's struggling in his time, and every wrong thing that happens to him is actually his fault. So I don't really feel bad for him. I like that he's like figuring his life out. He has his brother trying to constantly help him, but everything he does wrong is literally his fault. Like in the end of the movie, the reason that whole big ass fight happens is because the younger brother went to go warn Payakan that the people were gonna come kill whales. So like everything does kind of end up being on him. Yeah, so after Neteyam dies, everybody is hella sad. Like it's bad, bro. Like Neytiri is like losing her mind. She's like screaming. Jake is like, and bro, Loak, bro, he feels terrible, man. Like he feels like the reason his older brother, his best friend, died was his fault. And in reality, it kind of is, but it's really not his fault. He was trying to do something good, you know, and they went after him. So like, I really like how the family kind of gets broken over that death, and yeah, and then Jake eventually goes, I think, back to the ship, and he fights the colonel, and then they have like a battle to the death, and I think Jake wins. I kind of forgot. The colonel's like drowning. Jake is drowning too, and then this part is really funny. Like Spider goes into the water, and he pulls the colonel out and saves him, and doesn't tell anyone. So for all these people know, like Jake and one of them, they think the colonel is dead, but Spider saved him because he literally went in the water. He was like, I shouldn't do it, man. I shouldn't do it. And then he thought about, you know what? That's low-key my dad, bro. So he saves him. And then he leaves, and he's like, man, I hate you. It's like, when I first watched this movie, I really, really hated that part, like so much. And I still don't like it. But, I mean, I'm kind of okay with it now. I kind of like how Spider did this kind of stupid. And he never had a dad, you know? He doesn't really have a family. He's like an outcast. And so he develops this like weird love-ish connection with the colonel, who isn't his real dad. He kind of cares about him, but he hates him. And so it's kind of stupid, but I can kind of understand why he saved him, even though it's really stupid. I don't know. I don't hate it as much anymore, just because from Spider's perspective, it might be okay. But yeah, this movie's really pretty. I think it's the best in the 3 that are out so far, which honestly isn't saying a lot. But yeah, I give this movie like, bro, the same thing. These movies feel the same to me. This is still like a 7 out of 10. Like I don't. That's it. Okay, Avatar 3: Fire and Ash. I literally just watched this one like last night at like 9 p.m. This one is easily the worst one, man. Like it's not even close in my opinion. Okay, this movie isn't bad. I would still say that it's a fine, okay movie, but like I'm not like I was watching this movie, I was sitting in a chair, I was like the whole time. Like this movie felt so long. Like the last one was over 3 hours too, I think, but this one felt like damn, bro, we're still going. Like by the time we got to the last fight, I was like, oh my god, we still have to finish this big ass fight. Um, but yeah, one of my main gripes with this movie is that it's called Fire and Ash, but the like, bro, when I tell you the fire people don't do anything, they don't do anything, bro. This movie should not be called Fire and Ash. Like the last movie was called Way of Water, and I felt that makes sense. It was called Way of Water. This one is called Fire and Ash, but it still felt like a water movie. Like it was like the second one redone, kind of. Like it didn't. I'll get onto that later. But basically, like the fire people, there's this woman, right? And she's like the main fire lady. And so basically, I thought the fire people were gonna be like a real tribe that is living, like the water people. They're just like 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 radical raiders who kill other Na'vi and take their stuff, which is messed up as hell. They do this thing where they like connect their hair thing to the other Na'vi and it like cripples them, and then they cut off their hair thing so that they just die, which I didn't even know you could. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, they're like savages. And the reason she's like this is because I guess when her original tribe was like dying, they prayed to Awa, the goddess, for help, and Awa didn't help them. And so she grew up like hating Awa, and she eventually like, she was just like, oh yeah, so I went into a mountain, made some fire, and then I discovered the ways of the fire. What are the ways of the fire? I cannot tell you, bro. When she was talking about this, she put oil on her fingers, put fire on them, and was look, and did this like way of fire, and her fingers were just on fire, and that was as much as we got. Like, all I know about those people is that they dance around fire, and they're like crazy. And she's like a crazy woman, bro. Like she constantly like killing people, and like she's sick in the head. Like there's more on her. I'll talk about it later. But the fire and ash thing, this is not a fire movie. The fire people eventually become like dead ass side characters, bro. I swear they don't really do anything. They just add to the fight, which is like kind of annoying because I was like, fire is really cool, right? Like they can do something cool with fire, but no, like it was lame as hell. Yeah, it really just seems like they're a cult. Literally, it's just this one crazy lady at the top and some dumbass grunts who are all men that just like follow her. It's hella stupid, man. Basically, this movie is just like all the conflict happens because Spider's mask breaks, and like they have a spare one, but then they're like, bro, we gotta take Spider back because if his mask breaks, then like he's just gonna suffocate to death because he can't breathe our air. And so it's like a big deal. No, we don't want Spider to go because the kids love him and stuff. So they all go to drop Spider off at the place where the humans who are helping the Na'vi live, and they're all cool with it, I guess. Eventually, they get raided by the fire people. Everybody gets split up, and Neytiri gets slumped, bro. She like dislocates her shoulder, and she like gets knocked out for like 2 days. She has to go into surgery. It's crazy. Also, this movie, the best part about it, in my opinion, is that it's like it's Loak's movie. It's kind of narrated by him too, which I like a lot because obviously this movie picks up pretty much right after the last movie. There's no like time skip like between the first one. So Loak is still dealing with the weight of, he feels like he killed his brother, you know? And he slowly realizes that like, you know, it's not really his fault, and that it's really weird because his parents low-key resent him for that. Like Jake literally, he gets mad. He hates Loak. I'm not gonna lie. Like he literally resents his son and believes that it's his fault, and he's mean to Loak because he really thinks Loak killed his brother, which is like so messed up, dude. Like even if Loak physically stabbed his brother to death and it was an accident, I wouldn't be mad at, like, it was an accident, bro. Loak was trying to save the whale Payakan. Like his brother's death was not, it's so messed up that his dad is literally mad at his son for killing his brother. Like the your dad hating you, especially as Loak going through all this like trauma, like what that does to him is crazy, bro. Like at one point in the movie, he is literally driven to like suicide, bro. He puts a gun to his head and he almost shoots it because his dad just crashed out on him for saying that he's the reason that Neteyam died, which is so like disheartening, and I really hated that because they don't really make up. Like what happens is Loak eventually like gets aura. I don't know. He makes friends with the whales, and he goes to like the big boy whales, like the matriarch council, and he like starts speaking. This is basically like if you went to like I don't know, the United Nations meet. You were just like a homeless dude on the street, and you intervened, and you were like, "Yo, let me talk," and you start speaking about this, and you're not a political person at all. This is kind of like Sasuke at the Five Kage Summit, and that was Loak, and he earned their respect, and they agreed with him by the end of that whole thing. And so Jake was basically like, "You know what, Loak, you earned my respect. I love you and I respect you, and we're good." Which is so nasty to me, bro. Like, you never really forgave your son for what he did, or like understood him. Like, they do the "I see you" thing. He only like got cool with his son after his son did this cool stuff, or like became cool with the whales, and like after his son like became like this like political speaker. Like, it was so unhealthy to me, the way that whole like conflict was resolved. I don't know. I did not mess with that at all, bro. Oh yeah, this movie. One of my most hated parts about this movie is definitely the dialogue and the voice acting. Like, there's this one part in the beginning where Jake is talking to the water guy, and he's like, "I'm about to go beast mode" or something. Like, he was talking about the Taruk Makto, and he's like, "You mess with the beast, it doesn't go to sleep," or something dumbass stuff like that. And the voice acting, bro, like, oh my god, man. Like, Sigourney Weaver in this movie as Kiri, bro, she is not trying at all, bro. Like, I kid you not, she really sounds like a 7-year-old woman the entire movie, bro. Like, it's crazy. I know I said that about the last movie, but this movie, it's bad. Like, her voice just does not fit the character. It feels like out of sync almost, or like something's off. Same thing with Spider, bro. Like, there's this one scene where, okay, so basically Spider, his mask stops working, and then they're trying to look for his other mask. And so Kiri's like, "Wait, bro, Awa is talking to me." And so she puts Spider on the ground while he's like literally seizing and dying. And she like grabs a jellyfish and puts like the jellyfish's like heart in his mouth. He swallows it, and then she connects her hair thing to the roots of the ground, and like the roots like go inside of his nose and mouth and stuff. And he wakes up able to breathe the Pandora air. And so he has like, I don't know, like mushrooms growing inside him or something that change like his anatomy and stuff. And so like he's the big deal of the whole movie. Like, it's because he's a human that can breathe Navi air, and like now the humans want him. But yeah, so Spider becomes super important, and if the humans capture him, they're scared that the humans will start populating all of Pandora and killing all the Navi and stuff. And so it becomes a big deal because Spider gets captured at one point, and they have to go save him. And then Jake actually gets captured. He has to turn himself in at one point, and Neytiri goes to save them. They come back, and then Neytiri and Jake, when they finally escape the prison, Jake is like, "Yo, bro, Neytiri, we might have to kill Spider, bro." And it's like, whoa, Jake wants to kill Spider, which kind of doesn't make sense. He's like, they're gonna find a way to come after him. We low-key gotta kill him. So I kid you not, Jake takes Spider into the forest, like on some of Mice and Men, bro. He takes him into the forest. He's like, "Let's go for a walk, son." And literally he puts him on the ground. He's like, "Don't look at me." And I kid you not, he's about to stab him. And then Spider's like, "Yo, Jake, what's going on, bro?" And at this moment, Spider and Jake, they call each other father and son, which I didn't know that was a thing. They've never acknowledged each other like that before. But I guess Spider's like adopted now, and Spider sees Jake as his dad, because they've never really had screen time together. So I really, that felt really weird to me. And in this scene, bro, Spider's voice acting is so ass. Like his dialogue, bro. He's like, "No, bro, Jake, don't do it, bro." And then like 5 seconds later, he's like, "Okay, Jake, you know what? It's fine." And he has the most like monotone voice. He's about to get slaughtered. He has the most monotone, like, I don't care. It feels so stupid. And in the whole movie, I hated Spider's lines, bro. They'll be walking around, he'd be like, "Yeah, dude, that hurt like a butt cheek on a stick, bro. This guy's we beat that guy's butthole. They're not gonna catch me. I'm speedy feet." Like, he talks like that, bro, and it's like, shut up, man. Like you shut up. Oh yeah, also him and Kiri kiss at one point, which is okay. Spider, I think the actor is like 18 or something, and Kiri's played by a 7-year-old woman. I think they had to switch actors specifically for that scene. That must have been really awkward discussing that scene between the two of them. But yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah, also in this movie, the Colonel becomes really attracted to Spider, bro. Not like it's like that's weird. um, like really like he cares about him, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like he overrides his mission just to save Spider. I don't know why. Like there's no really like build up to that. He just like ends up being like, you know what? I want to protect Spider over anything else, and it's kind of like okay, I guess. Like it kind of doesn't make sense. Bro, in this movie, the Colonel and Jake work together like 3 times. At one point, they sleep together, not like that, but like sleep around each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's so like it's so weird. They're like almost friends. And this whole movie is the Colonel. He's almost becoming like more Navi than human. I mean, he's already like an avatar, but he's becoming like more Navi. Basically, the Colonel. This movie, he's just rizzing the fire woman. She's this cuckoo crazy dommy mommy woman, and I kid you not, bro. She's like she likes the Colonel. He knows what he's doing too, bro. He brings her guns because they don't have guns, so her people are like really impressed by the guns. And he comes in there with his shirt off. He's like showing off his like 8-pack and whatnot. He's like, look at me, I got you guns in my big ass chest. And then she's like, she's looking at him, right? And then she's like, come inside with me. And bro, I kid you not, she drugs him like on some like Bill Cosby, bro. She drugs him. She's like, you're gonna be my pleasure slave. And he's smiling at the camera like, that'd be fun. Like he's dead ass doing that. And they end up actually becoming a couple. And they crack, bro. He cracks her. It's so funny, bro. And after he cracks the Navi woman, guess what? He becomes like more Navi. He starts dressing like them. He stops wearing his uniform, bro. It's just like Jake, bro. But he fell for the crazy dommy mommy woman. And it's so funny to see. Like, I'm pretty sure by the end of this series, the Colonel's low-key probably gonna stop. He's gonna probably fully become Navi. And I don't think he's gonna fight for the army anymore, the military. But I still think he's gonna fight Jake. But yeah, I think it's funny how like all it took for the Jake and the Colonel to kind of become Navi is to just crack that Navi woman, bro. And then they were like, "Yup, I'm doing it." Bro, also in this movie, you know how I was saying I wanted more racism, bro? If you like racism, this is the one in the series for you, bro. Well, I mean, it's not that racist, but it's definitely the most racist, bro. Cause Neytiri, bro, she is racist as hell in this movie, bro. She's like, oh, I hate the pink skins. That's what they call them. She calls all humans pink skins, bro. And she hates Spider, who is like the best friend of all their kids, because he's a human. And it feels like it makes no sense, because at the end of the first movie, she embraced Jake's real human body, and like it seems like she was okay that he was human. Like she hugged him endearingly and like embraced him. And so in like the second movie and the third movie, she keeps saying like, oh, I hate humans. And in this movie, she's like, she wants Spider dead. She's like, I hate their 5-fingered hands. I hate this and that. I want all of them dead. Which is like crazy, bro. Jake even tells her like, do you hate me because I'm human? And do you hate our kids? Do you hate their flaws? Every mistake they make? Is it because they're part human like me? And she, I kid you not, bro. She says, yes. She says yes, bro. She is racist as hell. She eventually apologizes and she like accepts Spider more later. But bro, this whole movie, she's like mourning about her dead son, and she's just mad and racist as hell. But she's mad at the world. Also, another thing that bothered me in this movie was like the locations of where we are, because like, bro, this movie's all over the place. Sometimes we're at the big human base that looks like Final Fantasy VII, and then we're back at the water, but then we're back in the jungle, and they never like really travel between the places. It's just like back and forth. So a lot of the time I'm like confused. Like, are we back on the forest area or are we in the water area? Like, I thought the water area was just like water surrounding a little island, but I guess it's a big ass island now. And then how far away is that big ass island from the Final Fantasy VII place? Because like it feels like it's in their backyard. which would be really concerning. But I don't like it was really confusing like where they are like in the world map. Yeah, so this movie, it really feels like nothing happened, man. Like it was just like the Colonel rising the fire lady. That was like one of the big things. The fire people getting introduced, and like that was it. Oh, I guess a spider being able to breathe the air. Those were like the only big things that like move the plot forward in this movie. The fight at the end is like the same thing. The guys come for the whales, and like they all fight around the whales. All the whales helping the water fight. It felt like the same exact fight, dude. And then like they the Colonel, Spider, and Jake fight in this like fire vortex thing, which is kind of cool. But the Jake ends up having to help the Colonel back up and Spider, so they're sitting down like, yo, do we still fight each other? Because you just saved my life. And then they just look at each other like, and then the other Navi people come, and the Colonel's like, I'm out, bro. And he jumps off the floating rock, and he falls into the fire, and he screams like in agony. And I know he's not dead, bro. He's gonna come back like Darth Maul with his legs off, and he has like robot legs or something. He's definitely not dead, bro. He fell into fire, but he also fell into water. Like, bro, he's fine. He's not dead. But yeah, I don't know. This movie was just really long. It was like so. It really felt like it dragged, and I feel like because of that, everything kind of blended together. Like the other movies, I remember like way better. I don't know why, and I just watched this one. But yeah, this one, man, I give it like a 6 out of 10. It was just okay. So I don't know. Overall, bro, I'm not an Avatar fan, bro. I don't know why this franchise is so popular. I'm obviously it's basically just infinite money glitch because of like the first one. But, yeah, it's okay, bro. Definitely not James Cameron's best work. But I just wanted to talk about that. Peace.